Hey friends, so a few weeks back I made a video where I showed you guys our minimalist apartment, and that video got a lot of response from people saying that the apartment or the space wasn't minimalist. And that really shocked me, to be honest. I did not expect that, but then I thought, to be fair, I didn't really explain myself what minimalism is for me or what minimalism is mostly perceived as. So today I thought, why don't I talk a little bit about minimalism, what that is for me. Yeah. So for those of you that are new to this channel and don't know me, I'm Sylvia from Catchy Cravings. I'd love to inspire you and help you master healthy eating, but also healthy living. So if that is something that sounds interesting and great to you, then feel free to subscribe. It's free and I upload at least once weekly, but recently also twice weekly. So be sure to stay tuned for that. So a lot of the time when we think about minimalism or someone who is a minimalist, we think of someone who manages to pack all their things in a bag and moves freely out and about. Or also we most often think of minimalism in the sense of design, so something that is designed with a minimalist aesthetic, so things with clean lines, and often white comes into mind. But when I talk about minimalism, I mean minimalism in the sense of it being a mindset. So for me, having a minimalistic mindset also means that you're living consciously and free from excess. And to come back to that word consciousness, it means to be awake and to be aware of your surroundings. So for me, minimalism is about conscious consumption, and not only consumption as in what I eat or what I buy, but what I consume, like on the television or on your phone, on the internet. And conscious consumption for me means that you are awake and aware of what you are consuming. You're not passively doing so, but you choose to consume a certain things because it brings joy or it's something that you need. So for example, if your toothpaste is empty, you decide to buy new toothpaste because you need it. Or you buy a piece of artwork because it really brings joy every time you see it. And this aspect of joy can often be kind of misinterpreted. It's not something that is instant gratification in the moment, like really wanting this certain dress that you see on sale. It is not something that is in the spur of the moment, but instead it is viewed as kind of happiness in the long term. So I really encourage myself, when I see something that I would really like, to think about it and to spend time thinking if I really need this, or if I would still really love this in maybe 3 years. So minimalism also has the goal of only owning things that you really need or that really make you happy. So often you also hear about decluttering as a minimalist or as a way to minimalism. And we do that because it is a way of getting rid of all that excess that I talked about, so we can really concentrate on the things that we truly need or that truly make us happy. But be careful though, because once you've gotten rid of all that excess and all that baggage, you do feel lighter, but then a lot of the times we have this urge to now fill this empty space that we've created. Maybe it's in your closet. You find the spur to fill it again with new clothes. And this is the point where you really want to be conscious and mindful of what you buy. The questions I always like to ask, as I said, are, do I need this? And will this make me happy? But not today or not in a week or in a year, but rather long term. So in 3 years, maybe even 10 years. So I also talked about this conscious consumption as being awake and mindful. And I also like to apply that aspect as well. So I think about the impact that buying this or consuming a certain thing will have, not only for me, but for my surroundings and also other people. So for example, if I decide that maybe I want to buy this dress, so I think about how it will impact me. So do I really need this dress, or is it just something that I really want in the moment? Then secondly, I think of how it will impact the environment or my surroundings. So is this dress maybe made out of synthetic materials that will someday maybe end up in a landfill, or was this dress produced with cotton, but maybe non-organic cotton that was grown with pesticides that were then again harmful to the environment. And then also lastly, I think about the other people that are involved in creating and shipping this dress. How are they impacted? Is this dress maybe being made in a sweatshop? And of course, a lot of the times this isn't truly transparent and difficult for us as a consumer to maybe contemplate about or to assess, but taking the step and trying your best to be mindful is, I think, not only mentally but also practically a great step towards being my definition of minimalist. And because minimalism is a principle that is applied to different people's lives, it will also look very different. So for some people, it will look like having all your things in a bag and only having 20 things, and that is great. But for others, maybe they have a family, they have children, they need 2 cars. That is also their version of minimalism. So it really is very different for every single person, and it's very difficult to judge from the outside, and we shouldn't judge from the outside. So for example, myself and my boyfriend, we really love books. We get so much value and so much happiness for them, and we read a lot. So that is something that really brightens up our day and brings a lot of value. So it's not really about having a certain number of things. It's more of a mindset that translates differently when applied to different people. So to sum it all up, minimalism for me, I would say, is to get rid of the excess, not to have things and buy things that we don't need, and then again to consume consciously, so things that truly make us happy and impact us and our surroundings in a positive sense. So I hope you found this interesting or helpful. If you have any more questions about minimalism, be sure to pop them down below. Other than that, I think the minimalists are a great place to look for more information on minimalism. I would not consider myself an expert, but I think it is a very interesting and great practice to apply to your life or to try out. I'll leave my other minimalist guides and videos down below, all about minimalist decluttering in the kitchen, minimalist shopping practices. Yeah, and that's it for today's Thursday chats. Subscribe to stick around for Monday's video that is also coming soon, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.